Welcome to Home Live Radio. Here's your host, Master Builder, Karl Champley.
Welcome back, everybody. Tuning in to the Home Live Radio Show, the voice of the Handyman Club of America. I'm your host, Karl Champley, here with Cort Stoskopf. This time broadcasting live out at PCBC in San Francisco, Pacific Coast Builders Conference. Cort, a lot to see, a lot of good stuff.
A lot of good stuff, but even better, we got Ed.
What is something... I know, don't bring him in yet.
I know.
Because that's the surprise.
No.
What do we see at every trade show that is always impressive?
Boy, that's hard to narrow that down. Of course,
it's not Alan.
Well, exactly. I mean, of course, it's the huge Kohler booth that has all the cool stuff. I mean, there's no doubt about it. I mean, and I like the generators more than the plumbing, to be honest. But I mean, because I just love those things.
Yeah, you're more in that. I'm into the plumbing world more so with Kohler.
Well, we do plumbing, and I mean, if you're going to do plumbing, Kohler's got great stuff. But it's just one of the, I hate climbing underneath the sinks. But when I'm dealing with like electrical and generators and stuff like that, I mean, I just love.
That's
there's nothing
world.
like a machine that's built well, and it's a full blown machine.
Yeah.
It's very cool.
Okay, let's introduce a master plumber by 3, Ed Del Grande. Welcome back to the show, matey.
It's great to be back. And Cort, just so you know, we do have electric toilets. So you can have the best of both worlds. You can have the Kohler generators to power up these toilets, and they run on electricity with the 0.2 horsepower engine. Guys, we're talking the sports car of toilets.
And what's so wonderful, what is the water consumption of that? Is it 0.8 or about 1 gallon?
The great thing is, because it's electric motors in it, you could get 2 flushes. You could get a full flush at 1.6 gallons, and then a half flush at 0.8 of a gallon. So even with all this power, it's still a water conservation toilet, and it's called a Power Light toilet system.
Wow, very, very cool.
See, Ed's a much bigger man than I am, because he can go through, he can do all this plumbing stuff, and he actually enjoys it. You can tell. He's a full-blown, he just loves his stuff.
Well,
I just don't like getting down in those parts of the area. I mean, I'll do it, but it's just not the fun part.
Well, I tell you what you like saving all that money and saving all that water over a year.
Right,
you consider the old traditional 1.6 gallon flush toilets going now to like a 1 or a 0.8.
Oh, sure.
The saving in that
That's
is
huge.
phenomenal.
Yeah.
And I'll say this about you guys, is that all over the show, it's water sense, and you guys are so on top of that. And, what's the description? Let's say on a standard home, family home, of reducing water consumption from 1.6 to 0.8, how much water does somebody save a year?
You can actually, we can go one step further, because there's still 100 million homes out there that are still flushing with 3.5 gallons per flush or even more. And if you go into one of these 1.28 flushing toilets, Karl, per toilet, you're talking 16,500 gallons of water a year.
You believe that?
Guys, that's a swimming pool.
That is,
Yeah.
In Cort, I know you love technology, but these new toilets, I mean, they're not like...
got one.
So listen, Cort, get under there and change it.
Well, I did. I just got one at 1.28, and I'll tell you what's interesting about it is I got rid of the 3.5 one. That thing will take your arm off. I mean, that thing flushes like nobody's business, too. It's amazing. You'd think it would be kind of limp or something,
I've
but
seen
it's
Ed Del Grande do
It's
some
amazing.
demonstrations here with the faux poo, and I'll tell you what, I don't know where it gets sucked to, but it's a long way away.
Well, that's my point, is the science now in these toilets is incredible. It's not the old style where it's just pulling a chain and a flapper comes up. We got at least 4 different flushing systems that all have their own tips and tricks, and it's all scientific now.
Wow.
They could measure these flushes down to the gram.
You know what? It's fun to go to the toilet now. It is. It's fun to shower. Like at home, thanks to Kohler, I've got the digital thermostatic valve system in the shower, where you've got the wall-mounted shower heads, you've got it coming from the ceiling. It is beautiful. Not only does it look beautiful, it's practical, it's fantastic. But what can our listeners expect to see for 2010, 2011 coming from Kohler? What have you got displayed here at your booth that's kind of new and innovative?
Well, the big thing is what we're talking about with the toilets now is the water conservation efforts that Kohler has put into their fixtures, not just toilets. The shower heads, we got those down to 1.75 gallons a minute.
Wow.
And they still give you one of those big showers, because nobody wants a whippy shower.
You know what, they don't. And you know those little shower roses years ago they put on there? It was like a mist.
Yes.
Yeah. And I'll tell you what, they're on there for 5 minutes, they come off, and the old ones go back on again.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is that Kohler have the shower heads now that feel like you're having a shower.
Yeah, what we did, and this is so cool what the engineers did, they said, you know what, if we do all the work in water conservation, if we make our fixtures 30% more efficient, all people have to do is buy them and not change their lifestyle. So nobody wants to give up the big shower, nobody wants to give up their faucet flow, and especially the big flush in your toilet. So all we ask now is you buy the fixtures and we do all the conservation work for you.
And that's very cool.
Yeah.
That really is. I mean, you get the same function or better, and you use less water. How can you argue with that?
Very true. Now, for all of us guys, all us lads on the block, Kohler now have a urinal or a urinal. You've got it here.
How do you say that in Australia?
Urinal.
Urinal.
Urinal. You know?
It sounds like you're in court, Your Honor.
Urinal. But you've got it here at the booth. It's actually quite attractive.
Yeah.
Who would have thought you could have a urinal in your bathroom at home?
Well, here's the cool thing. I don't know if you guys ever were a fan of the movie Spinal Tap.
Oh,
when
sure.
they were looking at their album cover, and it was just this black album cover,
Right.
and they looked at it and said, you know, how much more black you could get than this? None more black. It's just the darkest color you could get on an album
Right.
cover. Well, how much water can you save with a waterless urinal? None more water.
Exactly.
It's the ultimate in water saving, and they do work.
Very cool. Very cool. Now tell us, mate, we're running out of time, unfortunately, but just to give your website out to all our listeners to learn more about all the great innovative product you guys have is?
Oh, easy. Kohler.com.
Easy.
That takes you to the whole family of websites, the generator site, which you like, Cort.
Right.
It takes you to Kohler Power. And if you go to Kohler.com, you can spend days there researching all the
You know,
products.
it's a great website, and it's very easy for people to monitor and shop throughout that website too. And also, too, what's the other website in regards to smart water or smart sense?
Oh,
What is
you
that?
go SaveWaterAmerica.com. That's the other one. We got to get that in real quick.
Okay, fantastic, because that is important, and that gives you the shocking evidence of how much water we're wasting. And guess what? We cannot waste that water anymore. Ed Del Grande, you're
Always
a
my
trooper.
pleasure.
Master
You
plumber,
too.
times
Jimmy.
3. Mate, great having you on. This is Home Live. Stick with us. We'll be right back.